At around 5 p.m. on Saturday the 6th of August, Mark Duggan's family, supported by the community, began a peaceful march which left Broadwater Farm and headed to Tottenham Police Station. The family were hoping to get some answers.
There's about 30 of us initially. We've gone down there. We just asked, like, when we've got there, it's like they were expecting us coming, because as we was leaving the farm, the cameras were on to, like, they were all watching us, like, you could see them moving, like, watching us, yeah? The shutters on the front, the actual front door where you walk in just to go for general inquiries, that was halfway down with 3 policemen standing there. Like, when we got there now, they said, can we help you? So basically we told them, yeah, like, they saw the banners and everything, yeah, we want answers for Mark Duggan. Is there anybody here that can answer our questions or can help us?
People just wanted to speak to the police in Tottenham Police Station and ask what happened to Mark, and nobody was acknowledging the fact that all these people were standing outside the police station. It was just cold down there, like, people were just sad, like, people were angry as well at the same time, but it wasn't an anger, like a violent anger, it was a hurt anger, do you know what I mean? Like, it was a cry.
There appears to me to have been deliberate confusion and buck passing as to who was responsible for informing the family after he died, and nobody seems to be giving proper answers as to why it was that they were treated in such an appalling way.
It was just a simple little thing. They knew we was coming. If they had somebody down there in the first place to speak to us, we would have been gone within half an hour. There would have been none of this build-up of people down there, but we really want to know, like, who's going to be accountable for this.
Yes, the family went down to the police station to get some answers and to seek redress, and their wishes should have been granted. They should have been seen. They should have been treated with dignity, and they weren't.
The family's treatment by the Met Police and the IPCC, frankly, is quite disgraceful, and I think that it follows a pattern of other cases where misleading information is put into the public domain, misinformation attempts to smear the character of the person who's died to somehow excuse away the actions of the police. It's a process that we see time and time again in these kind of cases.
It was a really emotional, highly charged evening because this misnomer, this false information had been put out. They've been involved in a shootout, and everybody who knew him or knew of him or knew his family actually knew that that would be totally incorrect, and that just really heightened tensions and heightened emotions and certainly solidified the belief that he'd been executed.
On top of the lack of communication and response by the police, the media initially reported the incident as a shootout. It was later confirmed by ballistic reports that the bullet found lodged in the police officer's radio was consistent with being fired from a police-issue Heckler & Koch MP5 submachine gun. Reports confirmed a gun was found at the scene inside a sock. Ballistic reports also found that the gun had not been fired. Later, additional newspaper reports went on to say there was no evidence Mark Duggan had been carrying the gun when shot by police.
What I've seen from the media's perspective, a lot of it is, if they can't get the truth, they make it up.
Yeah.
He was not a gangster. I do not like that word. They're portraying him to be a devil. He's not a devil. All these pictures they're putting up with his son in the fucking paper, all of that, that's hurting for the family. That's only hurt for the family.
Now they're bringing out stories that infidelity and all this. What's that got to do with anything? Like, why? What they want to do is destroy his character, innit? It's called character assassination.
You know, we don't know who to trust, who to speak to. We've kept dignified, and it's painful to see what the media has written.
This is something that they do to our community all the time. Every time that a black person is killed in a racist incident or linked to police, they always try to undermine them. And they've managed to do it with lots of them. Because if you grow up in an estate like this, I'm sorry, you're not going to grow up to be an angel.
He didn't choose to be born and brought up farm. He didn't choose to grow up on that rough estate. But he made the most of his life. He was almost 30 before he died, and he got to 30 without having a criminal record. So ask anybody, even people that don't really know him, that know of him, they will only tell you positive things about Mark. So that says something about somebody growing up in a rough community and being respected and liked.
He was known as a peacemaker
on
Broadwater Farm.
Yeah, he was.
I remember saying, oh, something's going to kick off. And when it happened, I thought, wow, that shows you how frustrated and how angry people were. And it wasn't just about Mark either. I suppose it was about all the other people that have died in police custody. It was too raw, too soon for another Broadwater Farm resident to have died at the hands of the police.
The spark that lit the fuse was the beating of the young girl.
Like, you just see loads of people running, and like, I come back and there's people showing me videos of police beating up one girl on the floor.
Started hitting her.
They started hitting her? When they started hitting her, what happened?
Other people just got involved, that's when it all got violent.
It's a girl! Look how he's dealing with her!
The police's absolute and total lack of response was shocking. It amazed everybody. I've never seen that before. And the longer that they failed to respond, the bolder the kids became. And then eventually, it just kicked off.
The atmosphere was literally hot. There was so much body heat. There was 2 fires. Everything was it looked like a movie.
I kind of had to see for myself what I was reading about on Twitter and friends were texting me about, and what I saw was pretty extraordinary.
Over the next 3 days, rioting, looting and burning continued to spread throughout North, South, East and West London.
I've seen a lot of younger guys and myself kind of down there, and they just kind of wanted to get war with the police basically.
I was just standing on the side of the road. I was told to move by the police officer. I moved and it pushed me and let his dog bite me.
You just let the dog bite?
Just let the dog bite me for no reason.
We got a call out to a house fire. We noticed that obviously it wasn't an house fire and it was at the Sony building, and the flames was like immense. We parked up outside the Sony place and it was so hot we had to park the fire engine around the corner.